If you believe you've lived your life the right way, then you do not have nothing to fear. In case you didn't know it already, this quote is delivered by the notorious and infamous murderer known as the killer clown John Wayne Gacy. Gacy was one of the worst serial killers in U.S. history. He was convicted and later executed for the rape and murder of 33 boys and young men, 28 of whom he buried under his own house between 1972 and his arrest in December 1978. So today, I'm going to share the story of the killer clown John Wayne Gacy. But before we jump in, please subscribe to the channel and hit that tiny bell icon to receive regular updates. Gacy had a disturbing childhood, and this is the chief reason for his being a killer clown. Gacy was born on March 17, 1942 in Chicago, Illinois, to Danish and Polish parents. Gacy's childhood was affected by his alcoholic father, who would beat Gacy and his siblings with a razor strap if they were perceived to have misbehaved. His father also physically assaulted Gacy's mother. But this is not the only reason that led this clown to rape and murder at least 33 young male victims. During his school days, he was suffering from a congenital heart condition, and at this time he was completely ignored by his father. Later, he also started getting attracted to men, and this surprise turned his life upside down. Gacy started his political career in 1960, when he was 18 years old, but the decision was intensely criticized by his father. The same year, he worked as a fast food chain manager and later became a self-made building contractor. His social life was quite active. He organized cultural gatherings and was active in JC's civic group. The killer clown was a member of a local moose club, which helped him to get connected with a Jolly Joker clown club, whose members eventually performed at fundraising events. They allotted him a Chicago area Jolly Joker clown club, and Gacy started performing at children's parties, charity fundraisers, and other events in clown attire and makeup. Calling Gacy a vicious killer was not enough. Actually, he was a sharp-minded killer. He mostly abducted victims from Chicago's Greyhound bus station, from Buckhouse Square, or simply off the streets. This sharp-minded killer clown applied a number of tactics to lure victims. Sometimes he forcefully grabbed the target, or sometimes he carried sheriff's badge. A few of the victims were driven to his door, tempted by either a job promise with his construction company or an offer of a drink, drugs, or money for sex. And then this bloodthirsty clown started the game. Years later, during an interrogation, he discussed his work as a clown, remarking, "Clowns can get away with murder." On January 2nd, 1972, Gacy found his first victim, a 16-year-old boy named Timothy Jack McCoy. Gacy picked up the boy who was traveling from Michigan to Omaha on a sightseeing tour of Chicago, and then drove him to his home with the promise that he could spend the night and be driven back to the station in time to catch his bus. A fight between Gacy and McCoy happened due to a misunderstanding, and McCoy was accidentally killed. Gacy's second victim was a teenager estimated to be aged between 14 and 18, whom Gacy strangled before stowing his body in his closet prior to burial. In 1968, Gacy was convicted of sexually assaulting and sentenced 10-year imprisonment. However, later he was released on parole in the summer of 1970, but was arrested again after another teen accused him of sexual assault. Surprisingly, the boy didn't appear during the trial and the charges were dropped. In the 1970s, 2 more young males accused Gacy of rape, and he was stuck in police interrogation. The sharp criminal mind managed to deal with questions.